beginning and sort of, just paint the picture as your journey and how you've done what you did, because it is really freaking cool.
Thank you, Gabby. Oh, I tell you, first of all, I just want everyone on this call to just absolutely realize how blessed you are to have a leader like Gabby. Just listening in on what you were saying, how much you are such a giver, babe. You are such a giver. You know, and to have so many people on this call like this, you know, it's because you attract really great people, see the heart that you have and know that what you give, you get, but you also give twice as much. You're a most incredible, inspirational woman. If all the leaders around the world, not just in Isogenics, were like you, this world would be such a blessed place, honestly. Guys, don't take her, you know, no one can be another Gabby because she is like absolutely, but my gosh, you guys are so blessed to have this open heart.
Thanks so much, Irene. That's so nice. I didn't pay her, I swear.
No. Now, as Gabby said, you know, we've just ticked over 10 years. On the 11th of November, just gone, was 10 years since we've been on the products. And we started purely for the products. We weren't interested in the business because we had another business, but we needed to do something to address David's health issues. And our doctor, who was our personal friend, he's an Italian doctor, used to say, Dave, it was giving him more time, another 3 months. And in that 3 months, he'd go on crazy fads and, becoming vegetarian for 12 months, giving up carbs for another 12 months, going on pure fruit juice diets, going on pure carrot diet. And it got to a point, it was ridiculous, all the gym equipment in the house was arriving, all those round balls that you don't know where to put. So I'd get rid of one, and instead of like asking me, where's that blue ball, he'd come home with a pink ball. And so it was creating an issue in the family when I said to him, I don't want to do this anymore. If we're doing everything that we're doing and we're eating healthily, because I'm a foodie and I love good food. We don't use processed food, but nothing we were doing was addressing his issue. I said, let's just get on with our life. And it just happened that 4 years prior, this woman in Sydney was interested in one of the products that we had. So he contacted her again to find out if she was interested in doing something with it. And she said, Dave, I've just come back from the US with these products that I'm going to concentrate on. And he said, well, what is it? She said, nutritional cleansing. He said, well, what's that? She said, it's about cleansing the body of toxins, and a byproduct is losing weight. And of course, as soon as she said that, he just said, send me some, like that. Not, listen, I'll just check with Irene, I'll get back to you. He said, I'll have some. He had just promised me he wasn't going to do any more silly things. I was standing behind him in his office, which is the other one, and I was so angry. I was so angry at him. I thought, are you kidding me? You just promised you're not going to do anything else, and now you're just saying, I'll have some? You're not even going to discuss it with me? I was so angry, and Gabby knows I'm a fiery Italian. A lot of people, when I tell our story, look at me as to say, you should be in an institution, but it's the way it is. You've got to understand an Italian. So I was going to kick his chair, and when it spun like that, I was going to hit him in the face, like just take him out. And, and I thought, no, he could feel me because all the hair on the back of his neck was standing up like that. I think he was waiting for me to hit him one. So I walked out of the office and I thought, that's okay. I'm going to leave you in here. You, sooner or later, I don't care how long you're in here, you've got to come through into the kitchen where I'm waiting for you. So he was in there a very, very, very long time. And I thought, it doesn't matter, because when you're there, so he came out eventually and he had this silly grin on his face and he said, what? I said, you promised. And I said, you promised. And he goes, look, if it helps me, isn't it worth it? I said, fine. 30 days. Don't tell anyone. Don't tell the kids. Get over it. Another 30 days, you know. So unbeknown to me, he got a pack for me as well. We had a few issues around that. So I wouldn't even start on the same day as he did because I was so annoyed. But long story short was, in the first week, in the first month, he dropped 10.6 kilos. For me, day 3, I got energy that I didn't even know what it meant to feel like this anymore. I'd forgotten. We had 2 grandchildren then. We have 11 now. And then what happened was, people were noticing. Dave went on to releasing nearly 20 kilos in 3 months. And people were noticing. And they were saying, what are you doing? I remember we first called that a neighbour had come up to him and said, what are you doing? Whatever you're doing, I want what you do. And so we started sharing a little bit, but I still was not interested in the business because we had a business. So we used to get a paper check in those days. Our first one was $22. And but what happened to us then, 5 months into Isogenics, I knew I was going to be on it for life. I lost all my little middle bits here. I felt great energy. I felt like, yeah, I just had my life back. And as Gabby said, we were 55. I was 55, Dave was 57 when that happened. And then 5 months into the product, we got a call from our Queensland-based company that we had borrowed heavily on our house, from a house, to buy the agency for this company. We got a call to say that they had gone into receivership and not to call them again to deal with the lawyers, which meant that we lost $500,000 in that 2-minute call. So it's what we call the darkest day and the brightest day of our life. I'm so glad we went broke, because if that had not happened, we probably wouldn't be here today. That night, the day passed, we were in different areas of the house. I didn't even realize it had gone dark. It was just thinking, what are we going to do? We're going to lose this house. I didn't want the kids to know that chances are we were going to have to move in with them. You know, we lost our investment. We lost the value of the company. We lost our income. That was part of our super. Everything was gone. I said to Dave that time, I said, could this work? And he said, I don't know. All we had at that time were 2 pieces of A4 paper showing you how the compensation plan could work. So all I knew was the next day he went out to get a job as a rep, and I started talking to everyone with a pulse. I knew nothing about the products. I didn't even know what product had the whey protein in, believe me, because I wasn't interested. I was glad taking it, but I knew it worked, but I wasn't interested to know what it was and what it was. I didn't know about the adaptogens. I didn't know. All I knew was how I felt before and how I felt now. So I just started sharing with that. This is how I felt before, and this is how I feel now. And people started believing in me and giving it a go. So that's all it was. We had no, I was stalking the 80-year-old butcher who was the #1 income earner in America, an 80-year-old butcher who's turning 90 this year. So whatever they did, I was just learning from them. I thought, if he can do it, I can do it. So then we started hosting our own meetings. We started hosting here in the house. The first night, second night, no one came. But we were committed. This was going to work. We started listening to a CD to educate ourselves. Then the team started growing in our house until we outgrew the house. And people didn't want to leave the house. But like you guys, we created a community as well. We would have people would come and bring a plate and a bottle. We'd have our meeting, then we'd eat together, and around about 1:30 in the morning, they would leave because I'd have to say, you've got to go home. You've got to go. No, we don't want to go. It's like kids leaving the family home. So we created an incredible community. You know, we'd have barbecues, and they would come, and they'd bring their family, but their partners, and that's how we grew, and that's what we did, and we started having bigger events and bigger events. But when right back then, when we had nothing and we were burning CDs, we were making flyers. We were making, everything was so non-compliant. You have no idea what we were doing. We didn't know that you had to be compliant. We were saying anything. And I was burning 10 CDs at a time and putting isogenics and giving them out to the team, putting them in nice green labels and doing like pictures of people. Our language was like, oh my gosh, you mean we can't use that? When the lawyers started coming in and the company Australia started growing, it was just like, okay, but boy, we got away with it for about 2 years and it worked. So, you know, that was good, and all they had to go in the bin. But right back then, when we said that this was going to be it, all I kept on saying was to my upline, who's no longer with the company, by the way, and also who also said to me that I would never succeed in this business, all I used to say to her, what do I do next? She said, okay. She said, you've got 6 weeks to go crystal, and you get a little crystal like this in Las Vegas. I said, okay, tell me what I do. Okay, you've got to get introduced 2 people. Right, did that. Now what do I do? Okay, you've got to help those people to get 2 people. Okay, now what do I do? Now you've got to get 5 people to help 2 people. Okay, now what do I do? Now you've got to have minimum of 5 in your right with 2 people. Okay, now what do I do? That's what I did. And I did it in 5 weeks because it meant
now that's a trophy cabinet.
That is. I was so focused. I have got, that one there was the great big president's one at the back, and was the first time to be awarded anyone out of America. But this one here is my pride and joy. See that? That's my crystal executive. And nothing and no one was going to stop me. We were dead broke. Everything was on credit card. I had $2.50 in my wallet. But that event taught me so much. And how I looked at it, if I expected this company to pay me $1 million, I was going to invest in this company. And I need this company and they need me. That's how I look. That's how I see having an attitude of gratitude, being grateful for everything that they do. I was never going to let them down. And like I said, I do feel as though like I'm the protector of the covenant. That's how I feel because of what this company did. So we got that crystal, $2.50. I invested in a CD called Building Your Network Marketing Business by Jim Rohn. And it changed my life to understand people, understand the way people are, understanding that. But also, actually I'm lucky because I drew this out the other night. There was this, I sat there on the way to Las Vegas. We lost all our luggage and couldn't afford to buy anything. I sat through the entire event washing my underwear out every night in 3/4 jeans and a pair of leopard slippers that I had in my carry-on. And I would be walking in the tarmac in Las Vegas, and it was so hot that the black rubber of my slippers was just like, it was like gum coming and like this stuff. So understand. Oh, actually, on my vision board, that was the day that we got our crystal back then. See, Dave went in jeans because we couldn't even afford to buy anything. We had no thing. This little dress he picked up for me because it was a short dress and I didn't need alterations. But, you know, it was just like so laser focused. And then what happened was at the end of the event, this was time-blowing for me. A lot of the things that they were saying were going over my head, and I was worried about our luggage that actually arrived at 2 o'clock in the morning the day we were leaving. And it was Luna Pang who came out on stage towards the end, and she was getting married to Ron Reed that night, and in Las Vegas. And she came up with a whiteboard, and she did that. Can you see that? Can you guys see that?
Yep.
Time. Can you see it?
Time and money.
Time over money. Time over money. Have you seen that, Gabby, before? Have you seen it?
No.
Okay. I never put the dates in it, but time over money. So this is the end, beginning of 2018, the end, 19, 2020, 2021, 2022. When I saw this, I got it, and I was ready to go home and fly high. Here, those first 2 years, you see, when you're investing a lot of time, because this is a profession. This is a profession, and you need to learn how to be a professional network marketer. Those 2 years is when you are learning the trade for little money. Second year, you're getting better and you're getting more money. But unfortunately, a lot of people give up here because they feel it's not working. It's not this that's not working. It's the people that forget to work, because they look at someone who might be a superstar like Gabby and think, okay, it's okay for Gabby, but it's not okay for me. But look what happens in the third year, time and money. In the fourth year, you're getting professional. And in the fifth year, we went over here dead broke. The next time we were in Las Vegas, 5 years later, we were recognized as millionaires. Understand that. We started with nothing. We had no tools. We had no CDs. I had my upline who didn't believe in me. Okay? But I was so focused, so laser focused, and I had such unshakable belief, knowing that I had no plan B, but if it was working for somebody in America, it was going to work for me. I started to dream big. We were about to lose the house. I started dreaming about owning my own place in Tuscany. I knew exactly what this house was going to look like. I could see it. I felt it. I could smell it. I could hear the soil. I could know that I was going to be making pasta on the terrace with my little granddaughter. I created this picture, and when I saw it on the internet, I offered the full amount without seeing the house. How crazy was that? But I knew the house before I saw it. It was alive before I saw it. And that was what fueled me. Every year I was getting closer and closer and closer. What I urge you is to dig deep. Comparison is the thief of joy, right? How many of you actually look at people and think, I saw Sandra nodding there. Look at people and say, but I can't be like them. No, you can't, because that person's taken. You've got to be the most beautiful, authentic person that you are. Because not everyone, like Gabby said, not everyone is going to speak the language of a young person. The people that come to me are people that want to listen to my language. Does that make sense? That's why there's so many wonderful different people, because we're all here for a purpose, because the world is full of individuals all looking for that person that has that fit. Does that make sense? Does it make sense? It is. That's the way it is. I'm looking for the people that are looking for me. And there are some young ones that, like we've just sponsored a young golfer in London, in England. There are some as well. But predominantly my language and my passion are the people my age who are facing retirement and they don't know how they're going to go through. You know, the statistics are 81% of the Australian public, I don't know exactly with New Zealand, is that are facing really pretty nasty stuff in the workplace. And then they come home and they're so stressed with their partner because of a few extra dollars. You know, the kids need some soccer boots, or there's a school camp, a bill comes in and you don't know how you're going to pay it. That's where we help them. That's where we help them. You know, and people in Australia, only 6% are ready for retirement. 12% think they're ready, but the others have no idea. That's where we help them. Because I always think, how are they feeling with Christmas coming? And they're so stressed because they've got grandchildren to buy gifts for. Or there's something in the heart, there's a tragedy in the family and they can't help their kids because they can barely help themselves. This is what this company does. But I urge you guys, you know, do not miss an event. Do not miss an event. It's the event that it really, really instills you see it firsthand for yourself. You know, it's not somebody coming back and telling you about it, because you may have picked up something that was totally, totally relevant to you then, you know, and your upline may have actually been talking to you about the same thing, but they go to an event, you go to an event, and you pick it up, a language from someone else that it's as though it's the first time you've heard it, and you sit next to someone from another part of the world and you connect and you become accountability partners, because this company is so huge. This company is so massive, and we are on a mission to impact world health and free people from physical and financial pain, and in the process to become the largest health and wellness company in the world. You know, when we heard that, we thought, could it be? And it wasn't until we sat down with Jim and Kathy Coover that we knew this is amazing. That's our mission. That's why you keep on sharing. You just keep on sharing. You give people hope. That's what I love most of all, is giving people hope and seeing who we can help. It's what fuels me. It's what gets me going every day. And when people say, but are you still sponsoring? I said, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, maybe not the way I started with 10 years ago, that anyone with a pulse never got away from me. I had their captive audience, you know, but oh my gosh, absolutely. And when they say, well, you don't have to do this anymore. But if I ever stopped sharing, if I ever stopped feeling someone's pain and offering them a solution, that meant that I wasn't really 100% congruent with what I'm saying. What comes out of my mouth was not in my heart. But I have, and I do bleed green. I will protect this company to the day I die. This is a legacy company. This has changed the DNA of our family. I was a single mum of 3 boys, and I know what it was like, and it wasn't nice. When a bill used to come in, do you know what I did? I put it in a really pretty folder and I'd leave it there. And I'd wait for the second one to come in before I thought, oh, I better do something and make that call to say I can't pay it. And I don't want my kids to go through that. So I had them in private schools, the 3 of them, and I could not take them out. So I worked 6 days and 4 nights to put my kids through private schools. So I'm not afraid of hard work, but I never had a vehicle that believed in me enough, other than shutting the door or egos coming in and feeling threatened when I was in the workplace, because I did this enthusiasm and knowledge in anything that I did in life. But I always believed there was more to in life. I never had the vehicle until Isogenics. When I saw that the more I wanted, the more doors would open. The more I wanted, the more the company would give. And it has changed the DNA of our family. We have 11 grandchildren. Dave has 2 daughters, so we have 5 children, all married, blissfully married, 11 grandchildren. and to know what we can do for them so they didn't go through what I had to go through, keeping husband and wife in a better relationship, not making our little grandkids suffer. That's what fuels me. And you know the best part about it? That this is a legacy business. It doesn't end with you. It gets willed. Ours is part of the trust because long after we've gone, the trust it goes to the trust, and every month the dividend gets divided between the 5 kids. How incredible is that? Did you know that? Did you know that? It is amazing. And like I say, you've got to have it in order to be able to change other people's lives. And we do with donations, helping people, but you've got to help your own family first, right? Set up your own grandchildren and make sure that your family is okay. And then you can give. You can give and change other people's lives that necessarily aren't going to get a chance. That's what I love. They give us this incredible money to do more for the world. That's it. That's it. I could sit and talk to you for 2 weeks and never get tired of it. Don't take it for granted. This opportunity will never come again. I love you guys.
Thanks. Thank you so much, Irene. That was absolutely, absolutely incredible. And, it's mind-blowing to know that you guys started with 2 bits of paper and that was the comp plan. That's all you had. And
we had no PIBs. We had no PIBs. We had 2 packs, a maintenance and a 30-day. And if people came on with the maintenance, we only kept 12 points. That was it. That was it. That's it.
Like 12 BV?
12 BV, yes. That was it.
Shit.
And we didn't have the introductory bonuses. We had nothing.
Wow.
Understand? Now, this is what the company does. They actually pay you a wage while you build your residual. Do you know that? They pay you a wage while you build your residual. It's phenomenal.
Wow. And I love what you shared about the money and time thing. Yes, year number 1, you're putting in a lot of time to learn what to do, to learn the skills, learn network marketing. I think maybe 1 or 2 of us on this entire call have ever even heard of network marketing. So we're all brand new. So the first year, like anything, is you're in an apprenticeship, for your first couple of years. So you're putting in a heap of time and you're only getting a little bit of money. And the sad part is that is where most people will give up when in those first 2 years when they're just learning. But then you look at year 3, year 4, when it starts to flip and your time goes down, but your money goes up. And then year 4, you're getting paid very, very well. Year 5, it's stupid. It's just stupid. It's unnecessary, the amount of money you're getting paid, and I'm just starting to get into that now. And it's blowing my mind. I feel like I need to grow into that money store. I'm like, it's kind of scary because I think wow, I can do anything. This is amazing. It's exciting. But it's oh my gosh, if I can do anything, why am I playing small? I need to be doing something bigger and more amazing. God damn it. So absolutely. I think that it's really powerful for you guys to hear that you guys at the start that are hustling hard, you're just learning, you're in your apprenticeship. Absolutely. And I mean, it took me 6 years to become an accountant, any trade or profession. It took me 6 years of university, 4 years of professional studies to become an accountant. It wasn't and that's 6 years. I wasn't getting paid anything. I was paying in my student loan to learn that. Whereas with Isogenics, we get paid during our apprenticeship, our first couple of years when we're just screwing things up left, right, and center. But we're still getting paid. That's the cool part about it. But realizing that this is, a 5-year plan, 10-year plan, and that eventually, if you just stick in with it long enough, it's going to flip around. Absolutely. And you've got to be in that. Do you want to be in that percentage that large percentage of people that quit. But if you've got the tenacity and the why and the courage to keep going and be part of that, you know, small percentage that does keep going, then the world is your oyster. And that's where the compensation plan really starts blowing up. And it's so cool. Okay, so Irene, so I know you talked a little bit about, we've just got a few questions. I know you talked a little bit about events, and so did you win the trip to Las Vegas? Was that an ISA Derby or something like that, or was it just an event that they said come to celebration?
We didn't even have an ISA Derby at that time. We just paid, and it went all on credit card. We were absolutely broke to the nth, but I knew that once we committed to Isogenics, we were in, and we were going to support the company at every event. I was going to show up for them, you know, because I knew they were going to show up for us. And that's the way we did it. You know, we just put the last of it, maxed our credit card. Like I said, we couldn't afford to buy clothes when our clothes didn't turn up. You know, I arrived there, and Jimmy Smith was having, we were invited to go to his room. He was going to talk about the numbers, and a girlfriend lent me her dress, and I had to stay still because her shoes were too big and my dress was too long. So I just stood there like this. I just stood like a statue because I couldn't walk. But it was just that this is it. And this time here, you know, dead broke, the end of the year there. By this year, I wasn't putting anything on credit card. Here, I paid off all our debt. These are the benchmarks that we did. But absolutely, Gabby, we had nothing. But regardless, whether we won it or not, we were there. That's also understand that here in Perth, the most isolated city in the world, even we've got Sydney, we never expected anything from the company. We never expected the company to pay for venues or whatever. We just got to it and we did it. You know, the last venue that we had, we were paying just under $1,000 a week because Perth's really expensive for a venue to have, and the associates were paying $5 entry. But then we found out the New Year kickoff started here in Perth because they were having a kickoff, we were having a kickoff. So I'd see whatever colours there were, and we had balloons in the room, and then the company saw it, and they'd give us things to give away. We generated it. I wasn't going to wait for anyone to go first. If we were going to do it, we went. We created it. I was so passionate about it. I knew that this was going to work.
Awesome. That's so cool. And like, I know the celebration, you know, it's only not this weekend, but next. It's so close. And there are still people on this call which aren't yet going to celebration. And there are people which are on this call, but maybe they're going alone. They're not taking any team members. What would be your advice to those people? And also, just to let you know, Irene, there is free accommodation for every single person in the team. I've got a free accommodation for everyone. I've hired out a big house, and I've also got a van to pick everyone up from the airport, so they don't have any accommodation or transport costs. It's literally just them getting their flights there, and I can also, of course, help with tickets as well.
Wow! Once again, I've never heard a leader doing that. Oh my gosh, you guys. Do you know what you've got? Do you know how blessed you are? I swear to you, I've never ever known that. For the people who are still wondering whether they're going to go to Isogenics, a question I'll say is, how much do you really want it? How much? Being honest, you've got to say, how much do you really want it? And if you can't answer it, I would honestly say that you probably don't really want it bad enough. Because if you attending the celebration meant that you were going to change your family's life, you would get yourself there. You would get yourself there. Because, you know, it might be because of it might be that it's an issue with your partner. It might be it's an issue with kids and that. But remember, what we do is because of our family. That's why we do what we do. It's because of our family. Yes, you're going to be mingling with people and you're going to get inspired. It's going to take you to another level. You're going to come home and you're going to be walking 10 foot tall. It's going to give you posture to speak to people because you're going to feel the change. You know, you're going to feel it for yourself. You're actually going to feel like a partner in a multi-billion-dollar company. We are partners in a multi-billion-dollar company, but we all run our own multi-million-dollar business within that multi-billion-dollar company. So knowing that, how do you run your multi-billion-dollar company? Are you just going to not go because you don't see value, or you're expecting your multi-billion-dollar company to go under, and then you're going to say it just, you know, too many other circumstances were in the way? You are the head of your ship. And if this is going to get off the ground, honestly, I'm going to say it, it's not negotiable. They've shortened it now. You've got a free accommodation, which over there the hotels are a bomb. They are absolutely a bomb, but you've got free accommodation. You know, you've just got to really question yourself and be 100% authentic and honest to say, do I really believe in myself? Do I really think I'm worth it? Do I really believe in this industry of network marketing? Or I'm making up these stories saying, oh, it's okay for Gabby because, you know, she talks to everybody and whatever, and it's okay for Irene because, you know, she's something. No, we are all exactly the same thing that Jimmy Smith did, I did, that everyone has got this opportunity. The only thing that stops you is a tiny little bit of grey matter like this that fools you and plays tricks on you to tell you what you're capable of and what you're not. That's it. And that little bit of grey matter will say, that's right, Antonio, don't go, stay with me, stay safe with me, you know, it's okay for them, they'll come back and tell you everything that you need to know. No, it's playing, it's deception. If you believe in what you're doing, if you believe everything that we're aligned with, get yourself a ticket. It'll be the best investment you've ever done, the best investment. And people who aren't taking their team, why not? Because we are not about one person doing it. We're all about team. Taking as many of your team along, let them listen to the message. Because sometimes you could be sitting there and you connect a message, but your team member might pick up on another message that she needs to hear right then and there. Do you see? We're not about disabling people. We're about empowering people. Link arms with them. You don't want your team to be following you. You want your team to be coming alongside you on this journey. Does that make sense? Has that been a bit tough? It's tough love, but I've got to tell you the truth.
Absolutely. And, you know, hearing from what you guys came from, you know, with $2.50 in your pocket when you got to Celebration and your luggage got lost and you couldn't even afford to buy more luggage, and you flew all the way to Las Vegas to get there. You know, for us it's just New Zealand to Brisbane and you did it with absolutely, you know, on the credit card. And I mean, like, that is because you wanted it so bad. You wanted to help your family so bad. And that's the question it comes down to. How bad do you want the life of your dreams? And, you know, Irene now, you know, she has this beautiful house in Tuscany and all of her grandchildren go there and they, it's just, you know, she tells us all these stories about it. It's incredible. And to know that her children are getting this, you know, weekly or monthly residual income from Isogenics, and it grows every single week. Like, how crazy is that? Your great-grandchildren, your great-great-great-great-grandchildren. And I remember when we had dinner the other night, you know, I was like picturing, man, like, you know, why do I drive so hard in this business? Because I want my great, 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 great grandchildren to be traveling the world, doing epic stuff with this residual income, doing projects on the planet. And people say, well, how do you guys do this? What the heck? And they say, wow, our great, 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 great grandmother, Gabrielle, was like this incredible woman, and she went hard. She built this empire with Isogenics through network marketing, and she created this incredible residual income. And it's just, it's, you know, our whole family is set up for life, and we've devoted our lives to making a difference on the planet because of the work that she did those years ago. You know, that's the legacy I want to create. And that's, and I want to, I am creating. Like, you know, I mean, I don't have children yet. I have my dog Jenny, and she's taken care of. You know, she is set for life. And and you know, it is like, that's when you realize, when you think big picture, that's what you're playing for. It's not just, oh, you know, earn a couple of $1,000 to buy some Christmas presents. Yes, it is that. That's the baby steps, but it is so much more. And what Irene said, like, that this opportunity will never come around again, ever, in the history of mankind, is so true. Like, we are the pioneers of Isogenics for all us Kiwis in New Zealand, right? We are the largest team here in New Zealand. We are the first people to reach a team of 8,000 people here in New Zealand. We are pioneering Isogenics here, okay? We're doing what has never been done before here, which is so freaking exciting. And that's exactly what Irene did in Australia. How cool is that? And like, that's, think big picture, guys, you know, and then before you are deciding, you know, and even when you're talking to your team, you know, don't make the decision for them as to whether or not they would want to come to Celebration. I know there's people on this call right now that have team members that they haven't even told about Celebration. And that's crazy, you know, even if they're just product users. Antonia on this call right now, she's 2 weeks into the product. She's coming to Celebration. Sherry's 30 days on the product. She's coming to Celebration. I've got people coming that haven't even started the products. They're coming to Celebration, because it's not my job, because I would feel like, you know, I'm doing them a complete disservice if I didn't say, you know, don't worry about buying your pack right now. Put your money to flights, and we've got to get to this event, because you've got to see the big picture from the very, very, very start. Or just trust me. I know you're only a week into the products, but trust me, you've got to trust me on this. This is an opportunity of a freaking lifetime. And, you know, I would feel so bad if in 2-3 years' time you turn around and say, man, why didn't you tell me about this when you were getting started? Why didn't you tell me about to get to Celebration? Or I wish I'd gone to Celebration like all those years ago. I wish I'd gone when I first started. You know, and I don't want to be the person that introduced someone and hear them say that, because I've robbed them of an opportunity to learn this from the start. And I just wanted to, I'm just going to share my screen for a second, Irene. This is something I shared with my team just before. So this is the growth in this is my first few months in Isogenics, right? So I started August 2013, and obviously first couple of months, I was just sharing the products. But then look what happened in March when I went to Celebration. You know, I jumped from 9 cycles in February, which was 2 per week, 31 cycles in March. That was my first Celebration. So if that's not a clue as to what this event does, you know, and then here, July, 4 months later, is when I hit 4-star. How amazing is that? Look at the growth from February to July. You know, that is insanity. That's amazing, because I got to Celebration and this fire was lit and I was unstoppable after that. And so that's what you heard Irene, 5 weeks she got to Crystal Executive. She wanted that crystal so she could go and get it in Las Vegas. She would do anything to get it. And for you guys that are brand new on this call, what the Crystal Executive means is when you have personally introduced 10 people and your 10 people have become consultants. So you've introduced 10 people, 5 on each side, and I've each shared with 2. That's when you become a crystal executive. And actually on Irene, we have Robin on this call right now who hit crystal executive last week, which is absolutely amazing. So Robin, can you give a bit of a wave so people know which one you are? Yay, there's Robin. So I'll have to introduce you to her at Celebration Irene, because she also is a gorgeous woman who's just about to turn 50, and she, like you, just talks on the phone, talks to people in real life. She's not a social media person. So just goes to show, guys, if you have the drive, that's absolutely possible. You know, Robin's done it in just over 4 months, and that's incredible, huge, right? So I guess you'll be getting your crystal at Celebration, Robin. Hopefully, which will be super freaking awesome. We'll all be there cheering you on like crazy. Okay, and there was just one more question for you, Irene. So Annalise has asked, you know, because you're just talking to people in real life, you're not using social media. So once you've talked to everyone in your warm market, how did you then expand, you know, after that, if you talk to everyone that you in your warm market?
A great question. I started just going out to breakfast groups. I started the BNI, and it was great. I mean, the BNIs are very expensive, and I didn't know at the time, but there's so many breakfast groups out there, so many groups, coffee groups, and that's what I urge the team to do. Just go and just meet people, and you're going to there, you're just going to have coffee, you're going to get to know people, and by talking to people, you find out about each other, and that is a wonderful thing. It gets you out of your comfort zone, just speaking to strangers, whatever. But also what I did after we became executive, to me it was about helping the team create executives. So helping everyone in my team to become an executive as well, because it made sense to me is that, you know, the compensation plan is your right team and your left team. But when you create the executives, it becomes like this. It becomes like a very thick matrix of solid growth, because that's what you want. You get yourself there first. As a leader, you go there first, but then you duplicate that into your team. So I was just creating executives in my team. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But talking to people, like we personally introduced probably about 500 people, not a great deal, but we have 1,000, I think 140,000 people now. I haven't checked for a while, and they're all over the world, because you just don't know. You just don't know. But as Gabby said, you know, you've got to know, like you've got to have certainty. And you've got to just really, really want it. You've got to know what you want. You know, are you guys big on finding out about your why, about digging deep and helping someone's why? Do you do that?
Yeah, we do. I mean, we definitely need to do that. There's a lot of quite new people on this team that probably don't even know what that is, but okay, that's what you will find out a lot about Celebration. You know, what's your drive, like why is this going to be something that's going to change your future forever, and what do you truly want? What's the life that you want? So it's about helping someone work out what it is, what does that exactly look like, help them picturing what they want, their future, their dream, and then showing them that this is the vehicle that can allow them to get there. And there's an amazing segment on this at Celebration as to how you can help your team find their why. And I know Amanda Kate asked, you know, what action did you do to grow your cycles so quickly? I went to Celebration. I learned exactly what to do. I learned how to cast the vision for other people, learned how to help them find their why. And the most thing I did is I got rock solid belief, because before I went to celebration, I didn't really have that certainty. I didn't have that belief. I just, made mum and dad do Isagenix and a few people at work, but, I couldn't see the big picture. I didn't have that belief in myself and network marketing and the products. It's like, who is Jim and Kathy? And so when I first started, I used to do these presentations, and Jim and Kathy was like, oh, there's Jim and Kathy, the founders of the company, but, never encountered I would ever know these people. And literally tomorrow at 11 a.m., Kathy Coover has asked if she can call me on my mobile and talk to me. So I'm like, holy crap. So me and KC, could end up being buds. You never know. But, how cool is that? And just like you guys, when you have your tasting party and the picture of Jim and Kathy and Eric with the white teeth come up, and you think, oh, this is Jim and Kathy, the owners of the company, but you never anticipate to actually know them, you will. Trust me, if you decide that this is your vehicle for your dream life, you will meet them. And if you are not yet decided, then my question is, if not this, then what? What else is out there that's going to allow you to live your dreams and put no limitation on your dreams, and is legal? What else is going to allow you to have the kind of life, buy a house in Tuscany, create a residual income, build a financial wall about your family for future generations to come? What else is out there? Because if you know something else, I'd like to know about it. If there's something that is as good as this, then you need to tell me, because this is unmatched. There's nothing like this on the planet. Nothing like the people, the culture, the community. And, when you can hear someone like Irene and you can hear her heart, she genuinely has a heart of service. And that's what she's doing. How can I help this person so they can, be able to afford presents for their children at Christmas? That's the kind of stuff. Those are the questions that we need to be asking. Don't let money be a reason for someone not starting Isagenix. David and Irene were completely broke, going under, scared of losing their house when they got started. That is the reason they went for Isagenix. That's the reason to start Isagenix, to turn the situation around. Okay, Sandra has said, Irene, I am in the older demographic. A lot of people have tried it all and are very wary of another diet. Any tips on how to help these people through these thoughts?
Absolutely, Sandra. For a start, people are going to look at you and they're going to see you've got a gorgeous smile on your face, your skin's looking better and whatever. But how I just always say to people, I've got a friend I haven't seen for 40 years coming on Thursday. To find out about the products, and she's also interested in the business. Her husband's just passed away, but I know most of the time I'll just say to them, look, what are you doing today? I have the conversation and just say, I've just come across something that has just changed our life. I'm so excited about it. I just want to share. It may not be for you, but it might be for you. It might be for one of your grandsons, or it might be for a friend of yours. I'm on a mission to, the 60s is the best years of your life. You just don't know it. And, we've done the hard yards. We've done it. We tried to do the 40-40-40, and it didn't work. We thought that we were going to have a pension to see us through, and it's not there anymore. So why should you reach that stage of your life when you've been an amazing mother, an amazing partner, everything that we've gone through, you've worked hard, you've paid your taxes, your kids are there, to reach the time when you should be able to be free in your mind and have a wonderful life? Why should we face that? Why? I don't believe in that. So I'm on a mission to give those people hope that they can do it. If I do it, they can do it, and I will show them how to do it. And we're not even talking about the big dollars. Forget about the thousands and thousands and thousands and millions of dollars you can earn. What about $500 every week coming into a bank account? What about $1,000 coming into your bank account, residual every week? How does that feel? But do you know the interesting thing is, when you've hit $2,000 a week coming into your bank account, you just can't stop it. It's like this huge this snowball that picks up momentum and it's just taken. That's what Dave and I used to say. Can you imagine what it's going to be like when, when we earning $2,000 a week? That's long gone. And it just keeps on going and picking up momentum. And every time you change your life, the company rewards you. Every time you change your life, every time you give someone hope, every time somebody in their face thinks, do you really think it could work for me? Absolutely. Come along and let me show you. And I promise you, I'll never let you go until you're ready. That's what we do. That's what we do. Because you deserve it. You're a human being. And when we talk about the why, I always take people back to the purpose. When your mother or your father held you in the arms for the first time, the joy and the love they had of this incredible child. And they were full of dreams and goals and aspirations for you. And we all knew how to dream when we were little, but then you go in the system and you learn to conform, and they break down of what you can do and what you can't. And that's what remains in that little head that keeps you locked where you can be. But what if you trained yourself to not listen to that? What amazing things are you going to do? Because you know where most goals, dreams, and aspirations are? In the graveyard. People keep it too late and then say, I wish I had it. If only I had more time. That is a crime. That is a crime. Because you were born for a reason. You were born for something great. You've just got to believe it and learn to dream big. And when you do your why and you keep on asking each other the questions, but what would that feel like? How would that feel like when you get there? You just ask the question, so if time and money wasn't an issue, how would your life be? What would you be doing? And they start talking, oh, we'd be doing this, and yes, I can understand. And I get them thinking, what can you smell? What are you going to be wearing? Where are you going to, and you see this smile come up, this dream coming up, and then you say, can you ever imagine not ever getting to feel that way? And when you see the tears coming down the face, that's when you know that you have just found the core of what gets to people. But it's something, I urge you to just, it's just taking them to somewhere else where time and money, would not be an issue, and health, imagining what life would be like if you didn't have to wake up and to face the bill or to an alarm clock and drive to work because you're so worried about something and you've got things to do and you drag your sorry body along, and even going to celebration, can I afford it, can't I afford it, an argument in the house. But what if you had none of that? How would you live your life? What would you be doing? Imagine, because it's all there. This is a dream makers, and you are dream catchers, taking yourself there. Because when you are clear on what you want in life, you will become unstoppable. When I started dreaming about my Italian house, even though this was about to go, I have vision boards everywhere. My house in Italy isn't very different to that, but I found it on the internet. Okay? I even planted all these. We live on the beach, and I planted these on my driveway. They only lasted 2 years before the salt ate them up, but I gave it a go. You create your destiny, not someone else. You do. You've got to believe that you're worth it, and you've got to believe that your children deserve more. Understand that.
Thank you so much, Irene. It's been an absolutely incredible call. We've got so many comments. People have got goosebumps. I'm sending massive gratitude out to you, and I am so grateful that you could take the time to jump on our call. I know you just jumped on another call, and we're just like Absolutely, absolutely, just overwhelmingly grateful. You know, I yell at these guys every week, so it's really cool for them to have someone such as yourself, and hearing your story, I think is just so, I mean, it gives me goosebumps every time, and I'm so grateful that you went first, because if you hadn't have said yes to Isogenics and worked your freaking butt off, none of us would have ever found out about Isogenics. And I'm so grateful for that. It has literally changed my life, and so in every aspect you could ever imagine. And I'm so grateful that you had the courage to go for it and go first when there wasn't all the proof, and there was only 12 BV, and there wasn't no many PIVs. It's so freaking cool. So thank you so much for an amazing call. And I'd love to grab a group photo if everyone wants to turn their camera on and show Irene some love, maybe make some like heart things, and I'll just grab a couple of snaps. And oh shit, how do I do this? There we go. All right, smile. And I'll get page 2. Man, I wish this many people jumped on all my calls. You obviously drew a crowd, Irene. Good work. Love it. Okay, well, feel free to unmute and send Irene some love and some thank yous. And yeah, I think that was just an amazing call. Even your voice is like so soothing. It's really nice. I could listen to you all day. And you know, make sure you go up and say hi to Irene at Celebration, because after a call like that, we are all going to be there.
So thanks so much, Irene.
Thank you so much. You're amazing.
Thanks, Irene, and thanks, Gabby, for organising this call.
Thanks so much, Irene.
Thanks, Gabby. Thanks,
Irene. Thank you.
Have an amazing night, everyone, and rock those tasting parties this week. And thank you again, Irene. Over and out, everybody.
Thanks, Irene.
See you at Celebration.
See you at Celebration.
Bye.